Hi, everybody. This is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for America First and our new media arm, the Vet Voice. I'm here with Pastor Patrick Collis, who is also an ambassador for Veterans for America First, as well as many other things. He will tell you about his history. And Patrick, you have a big event coming up. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about your background and what you have planned?
Sure. Grew up in a Navy family, served for a little while myself, got out and decided to go to school for counseling and human services, where I worked as a school teacher, got ordained as a pastor, and taught at a Christian school for a while. After I became the care pastor of my church, I decided I wanted to use a skill set. Meeting with some of my friends in the past, that I grew up with, we decided to start an investigation and security firm. And long story short, I still maintain ministry. Our firm became a ministry with investigations and private security. Worked our way up with all of our skill sets into executive protection, where we provided protection for many celebrities and people that were sitting in running for Congress. Down at the border, protected Admiral Chuck Kubik, who is he's a national spokesperson for Veterans for America First. And Trump's admiral, as he's referred to a lot. So we had the pleasure of doing that, and among other people. So that's just a short snippet of my background. And
I'm going to cut you off just for a second because
okay.
there was also a security detail you performed for Team Trump.
Oh yeah, we did at the Real Georgia Speaks Trump bus tour down in Georgia. I got to provide security for some of his administrative staff, the Team Trump admin people, specifically Lynn Patton. She was there. I had the pleasure of standing by her side while she did some of her speaking engagements.
And I understand, during the tour, it's close quarters. You get to know people.
Mm-hmm.
They, talk to you a lot about your mother, who at the
Yes.
time wasn't well. And I heard they did something very nice for your mom.
They did. More specifically, it was actually on Mother's Day. It was that Sunday that we were there on the bus tour, and I believe it was Leah Trimming and Ben asked me if I was okay that day because I seemed a little off. And when I told them what was going on with my mom was diagnosed with a brain tumor in March, and they said, "Well, if you want to go see your mother for Mother's Day, we understand you can go." And I said, as much as I appreciate it, I have a job to do, and I decided to stay because I knew that's what my mother would want me to do, is stay and complete my task, and whatever I started, she would want me to finish, and she understood. That's how she raised me. And they had asked me a few days later for my address and my mother's address, and Lynn Patton actually asked me for it, and Leah, and I sent it to them. And in June, my mother received a very, very nice letter from the president, just wishing her, well, and mentioning me and thanking her for my dedication to Team Trump. It was a really nice letter, really heartfelt. It was probably one of the greatest things this year that my mother had got to read, before her passing on August 23rd. And we had her service for her on September 1st in St. Augustine, Florida. But I think, the president taking time to do that was just remarkable. It was just truly with everything he has going on. He took time to do that, and he is truly America's president for that. And my family really appreciated that.
Yeah, President Trump is definitely a people person. My wife and I have had the pleasure of meeting him several times, and many of those occasions he's taken 7, 8 minutes to talk to us. And I understand another friend of his on Team Trump, Shane Beauvais. Sorry if I got your last name wrong, Shane, but you're putting out a book just to show President Trump's lighter side that the media won't show you, that he does things like this all the time, like he did for Patrick's mother. He takes time out for us, and we all really appreciate that. Patrick, tell us a little bit more about CPU, what it is and what it does.
Well, in short, CPU stands for Christian Patriots United, and it was named after the events of today, actually marking September 11th. It wasn't named in 2001. It was named last year, just this past year, when our service members started to go through this ordeal about the created this organization called Christian Patriots United because on September 11th that day, our country was united in such a way that has never been seen before in the history of our country, at least for a very long time. Everybody was an American. Everybody had Jesus Christ in their hearts, their homes, and their business. And we were all Americans that day. We were united as patriots. And, fast forwarding up to our recent events at these battles that we're going through, our country is anything but united. The Americans are so separated due to tyranny and, ideations and narratives that are just false. And so when I wanted to fight for this, for our service members, it didn't really matter what religion you were. As if you have religious beliefs, they need to be, fought for regardless. So I created the organization, named it Christian Patriots United, for the unity of our country. And it started off, providing services and connecting service members to legal representatives who agreed to come on board to fight for their religion. And that's when I pulled the trigger. I started it. I've had several conversations with friends in our organizations, with VFAF, Dr. Shannon Croner helped out. Wendy Cox, who's one of our original attorneys, who now works for one of the firms that has who's assisting with a class action lawsuit for our service members. It all came together, and we decided, okay, how are we going to fight for the mental health side of things? And we knew that it would come down to that people would have these thoughts. And I've met several service members, and they sent emails to me because I sent out an email to service members, all the branches, that said, hey, if you were affected by this, please reach out to us. We want to provide resources for you. Some of the letters I got in December of last year, over 140 of them, and their stories of how they were mistreated, how they weren't allowed to go on leave. They were looked down upon. And some of them had thoughts that they might have to end their life, or they would do something stupid because they don't know what's going to happen in their career. And so we started to focus on the mental health side of things. I got with Boone Cutler. I knew he had the Spartan Pledge. He is the founder and author of it. And it's basically a pledge that you're not going to take your life. So we decided to put that into our faith pillar side of CPU, which also originated from Veterans for America First. When I was a former president there, Stan, I spoke with the original founders of the organization, and we said, hey, this was Vlad at the time. I had a great conversation with him. And I said, let's really build the faith pillar of this organization and work on the mental health side of things. So cutting into the long story of this, Boone agreed to allow me to use the Spartan Pledge and let's do something. And it wasn't until I had gotten word that my team, who's on my executive protection team, and people who work for my investigation firm, one of their buddies, who's a friend of mine as well, committed suicide. And we found out about his death. And it was before the VA could do anything for him. He had gotten off the phone with them, so they couldn't do anything for him for months, and he was battling, and he took his life. And when I saw the devastation in my team, because I never had the pleasure of serving with him, but they did, but I served with them. So I kind of knew him from them, and I seen the effect that it had. And when I spoke to his mother, the devastation in her voice, it brought me back to the day I spoke to my mother when I myself was battling, had those same thoughts and even attempted it. So I knew what the feeling was like. I was there at one point battling depression, and I called Boone up and I said, I've got to do something major. And that's where this whole event concert started from. We just started brainstorming how we're going to make it big, and it grew into what it is now. But that's how you got started.
Let me just interrupt you for a sec. Sorry. So just tell people the date of the concert and the location, where they can find information, and some of the people you have scheduled to be there.
Okay. Well, the concert's in Venice, Florida at the Hollow. It's October 31st from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. You can go to the Spartan Pledge veteransconcert.com, or in short, tspvcusa.com. And that will give you all the information you need about the Spartan Pledge. It even has a video on there explaining it from Boone Cutler. You can purchase tickets and donate to the event. Some of the people that we have coming, just performer-wise, is Sabo from NSA Entertainment, Soldier Hard from Redcon One Music Group. Those two are just definitely well known in the veteran community because their songs are therapeutic to the veteran community. We have Tara Thompson who's performing, and Malachias with his music. He's playing. They're also combat people that are coming. Tara's not a veteran, but interesting fact about her: she is the second cousin of Loretta Lynn, which is kind of cool. We also have Hadass Levy, who's coming to sing. People know her from singing for Ron DeSantis down in Florida. She's also preferred by Trump 45 to come sing. She was on season 2 of American Idol and almost won. And she's going to be opening up with the national anthem. And I've heard her version of the national anthem, brought chills to me, to my arms. It's very, very
I'll
good.
just add to Hadass's information. She also sang at CPAC as a Veterans for America First ambassador.
Right.
People have watched her CPAC video thousands of times on our YouTube channel. She has a gun training range.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely a patriot.
Yes. Yes, she is. And she's just a wonderful person too to talk to on the phone. And then one of our ending act. This is one of the greatest guys I've ever met in my life. So nice, down to earth. His name is Kenny Thomas. His band Cornbread. They were actually the band that was featured in the movie with Reese Witherspoon, Sweet Home Alabama. His band sang the song in that movie. But interesting fact about Kenny Thomas is that he is a combat Army vet. He's a Ranger who was in the Battle of Mogadishu, Black Hawk, the movie from Black Hawk Down. That's where he served. And so he's going to get up and tell his story about Task Force Ranger, and then he's going to sing some therapeutic, patriotic songs. And I've had the pleasure of meeting him at the Reawakening Tour in Arizona. Probably, I think it was back in February, March timeframe is when I met him. So he's coming there, and we have so many other speakers that are coming. It's just going to be a great opportunity. There is rumor from a friend of Gary Sinise that a message will be coming from him, and he did tell me the other day on the phone that Gary Sinise is notorious for just showing up. So I'm not saying he's coming, but he did say that he is notorious for showing up at events that he takes interest to, and he said that he did take an interest to this one. So we're hoping and praying that he shows.
I do know you have a special message from Admiral Kubik at the end of the video.
Yes.
I'll post a picture of you and the Admiral when he recorded it for you, as
Yes,
well
I
as
did.
the letter from President Trump, so people could see that. And I
Yeah.
know you have some other great speakers, maybe some other surprises I'm not allowed to talk about.
Right. Yeah. We want to keep some things. I don't want to say everybody. I want to keep some of it as a surprise and draw the attention. But yeah, there are some other great speakers coming. And I just want to add, I sat in Admiral Kubik's office when he filmed this video, this message. And I got to tell you, the things that he said were just motivating. And it brought back some great memories of service. And, I wonder what it would have been like to serve underneath him. Just a fantastic guy. He's just wonderful his words, and when he's committed, he's committed. And I got to tell you, I got motivated listening to him speak about this event. So,
Well, just to share an interesting story with our viewers, if you've watched this far, we haven't lost your attention yet. Speaking of serving under Admiral Kubik, I'm a retired police detective. I'm not in the military, but one of our endorsed candidates, who's actually a friend of mine, is sitting Congressman Andrew Clyde. Congressman Clyde actually served under Admiral Kubik
oh
in the
wow,
Middle East in combat, and Admiral had directed him on combat missions. So Admiral's a real deal. He's not just a political appointee. He's been out there in the thick of it. And
yeah.
we're honored to have him as our national spokesman, as I'm sure you're honored that he's recorded a message for the show.
Oh, I definitely am. And he and I've had great conversations. That the time that I provided personal protection for him at the border when we went to Roma, Texas, we one of my business partners, Preston Hawker, actually noticed a threat, and I don't want to say we saved Admiral Kubik, but we definitely prevented something from happening because there was a cartel scout that had made their way over to the U.S. side and was beelining for the Admiral. And Preston, who's like I said, my business partner, picked up on it, engaged it, and then we exfilled, got the Admiral out, and it was a success. And the Admiral and I, we spoke about that several times, even at at an event for Terry Nancom here in Virginia. I mentioned it in a speech, and he gave his acknowledgement. And so I know he was pretty appreciative that we were on point with recognizing threats with what we do as a profession. So being able to talk with the Admiral about that, knowing that he's been through combat, is a blessing in itself, and it's just an honor to be able to stand next to him.
You mentioned the border. A lot of people, most people have not been there, and a lot of people don't know this. You know it. I know it. We've been there. I was in this caravan with Admiral Cubic going to the border, but I was in a different car on a night tour. And we pulled up, and our team was Jay Block from New Mexico
Mm-hmm.
and Mallory Staples from Georgia. And we actually had cartel snipers in the trees across the river pointing weapons at us.
Oh, wow.
So that is an active hot zone. They are moving drugs across there every day. People are coming across in broad daylight. It is a freaking disaster.
It is.
Regardless of what the media tells you, the borders are open. We don't know who the hell is coming across, terrorists, criminals. It's just a disaster, and that's another issue.
Yeah.
But for closing in your concert and your speakers, you have a great speaker and another VFAF ambassador, and Angie Wong.
Yes.
Angie is well known throughout the country, former president of Black Pac. She'll be working on a project with Patrick and myself that she'll be announcing soon. I'm sure it's going to be huge, or
Mm-hmm.
bigly, as the president would say. So make sure you come and hear Angie speak at the event. And Patrick, is there going to be any VIP experience for people that they could purchase or participate in?
Yes, there are going to be some VIP opportunities there on the website. Explains it when you go there. Click on your tickets. It's written down there on what to expect. There are 5 special tickets though that we are selling. They are 400, I believe $500. It's the Crisis of Command Lieutenant Colonel Scheller ticket, and when you buy that ticket, you get the Platinum Plus package with a one-time only offer to the Spartan Warrior Elite All Access Pass. That values at $1,000. So if you buy the Lieutenant Colonel Scheller Crisis Command ticket, you will get a free copy, autographed copy of his book. He sent me quite a few of them, and I designated 5 to go with those tickets, and he did autograph them as well. He's a good friend of mine. I met him. We have a great relationship, and so he was able to do that. He will be sending a great message to the event as well. His book tour is keeping him from attending, but he's going to send a nice message. So he'll be attending virtually, as well as sending these books that we can use for the event. So there are 5 of those tickets available, and when you buy them, it's $500. You're basically getting 50% off of the All Access Elite Spartan Warrior Elite All Access Pass by buying that ticket, and it supports Lieutenant Colonel Scheller as well.
All right, well, Patrick, I thank you for your time, and Donna and I will be joining you for the show, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I look forward to seeing you as well.
All right.